Hello, my name is Irilen Medrano, and I will be doing a topic on the COVID-19 response. Okay, so the first question was, why is your chosen topic the most important issue for Texas? The United States has, oh, well, the topic that I chose was the COVID-19 response, and the reason why I chose it was because uh, it is the most important issue for Texas because the United States has the most reported cases of COVID 19 with 9,861,788 cases, and the most reported deaths due to COVID 19 with 237,113 deaths. COVID 19 hospitalizations have also increased by 90%. So it only keeps getting worse, whether it is due to Governor Abbott opening businesses too soon, or young people ignoring warnings and still leaving uh, to and still leaving and having outings. Um, in order to help the economy, Governor Abbott started reopening businesses in May, but stopped this plan in June as soon as COVID cases increased. However, the harm had already been done, and COVID cases increased significantly in June and July. Abbott issued everyone to wear a mask, but by that time, this resulted in hardly any changes. So yeah. So then later, COVID cases dropped in September. They dropped again. So again, Abbott lowered restrictions on businesses such as restaurants and bars, which research shows will lead to another outbreak. Now, as for the youngsters, around June and July, when COVID cases were increasing, research shows that the number of deaths due to COVID was decreasing. So this is because it seems that virus started attacking those in their 20s rather than young children and the elderly. And the 20-year-olds are the ones who are most likely to survive COVID-19. So that's why COVID cases increased, but deaths decreased. So this shows that 20-year-olds are the ones who keep going out the most, whether it's for work or for fun. Um, Now, the second question is, what are the core challenges, problems surrounding your topic, and how would you address these issues? Well, one of the core challenges surrounding the topic is that Texans are not taking coronavirus seriously. Influential people such as the Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick are not helping the case. Dan Patrick demonstrated such behavior when he went on a Fox News interview and started speaking against Dr. Anthony Fauci, uh, an American physician who has been helping in containing COVID 19 and had warned Texas about them becoming a hotspot for coronavirus. Um, Lieutenant Government said, uh, quote, he doesn't know what he's talking about, end quote. And when Dr. Fauci said that Texas might have skipped over a few guidelines before opening up businesses, the lieutenant governor's response was, quote, we haven't skipped over anything. The only thing I'm skipping over is listening to him, end quote. This causes people to take Patrick's side and not take the virus seriously. However, Fauci was not the only person concerned for Texas, as the coordinator of the White House coronavirus task force, Dr. Deborah Birx, also included Austin in areas she categorized as concerning. But as stated before, Texans are not treating the virus as the pandemic that it is and continue to have outings that continue to spread the virus, making contagion the biggest problem. Contagion. For example, uh, Mark Escott, Mark Escott, Austin's medical director, says it is difficult to investigate cases as more and more people keep interacting with one another. His team found out about a party in the city's western suburbs where 300 to 400 high schoolers met up in one location for hours. I would address these issues um, by spreading awareness and decreasing contagion, which is one of the main ones, by following in South Korea's steps. Not in their exact steps, but similar, as they were able to contain the virus when it started because they had already learned their lesson when a similar virus, MERS, attacked them in 2015. So, like South Korea, I would address the previous issues by having many tests available for all Texans because early detection minimizes spread. Um, yeah, and then we will start in a process called contact tracing, which is when a team tracks down those who have come into contact with an infected person and test them regardless of whether they have shown symptoms or not. Uh, we will repeat the process if any of them test positive for COVID-19. Then those who have been tested will be asked to stay quarantined until they get the results back. And if they also test positive, then they are to stay quarantined for the amount of time necessary. When there is a confirmed case, we will ask the person to retrace all of their steps, including the buses they took, the stores, and what locations they went to. Then all of their steps will be logged. Afterwards, we will provide people with apps or websites where we will continuously be updating data on on their on where there has been. Oh yes, we will be continuously updating data on where there has been a confirmed coronavirus case, what locations they went to, and what paths they took. This way, when and if people do go out, they will know what areas to avoid and in order to avoid getting infected. When South Korea did this, they changed the law allowing the government to collect a patient's data and security footage during an outbreak. However, we are not that extreme. When we ask a patient to retrace their steps, we will let them know uh, that it is optional and they do not have to reveal that information if they choose not to. Finally, we will set a curfew for 9 p.m. and specialists will go to those infected sites and try to conduct a cleaning. The third question is what might be a criticism of your solution? Well, some might ask, who is going to pay for the tests? Because, I mean, like, they're not free to make. Or some might say keeping people quarantined is going to stop people from getting jobs, which will result in more unemployed people. Now, the fourth question is how would you respond to such criticism? And the way I would respond to such criticism is I would respond by raising taxes, specifically to larger companies. Um, and we can help those who are unemployed by giving them jobs and helping this COVID-19 response work. They could get a job in helping to program the apps and websites to help them warn others to avoid the path of infection. They could be part of the cleanup crew that helps clean those uh, those areas during curfew and etc. This has been my video journal assignment. Thank you so much for your time.